All right. How's everybody doing? Good, good midday, afternoonish, after the morning. Good after morning before afternoon. That's a lot. Good after morning before afternoon. I like that though. Yeah, you could get a T-shirt that says that and would confuse the hell out of people. Good after morning before good afternoon. That would confuse the hell out of people. I'm confused and I know what I'm saying. All right. So we don't have a game to talk about. We're just gonna shoot it. You know what I mean? I can't say the ish word so early in the live stream. They get demonetized. Trey, the link is there, Trey. I figured I would let people come in and give their opinions on yesterday's show, and it probably would be best if you weren't around to hear what they had to say. I'm kidding, Trey. I love it, man. You did a great job yesterday. Hey, Metal, Civil, Bonehead, how you doing? And I saw Bolvar's up here. Bolvar, I saw your comment, brother. I hope everything is okay, man. I know I understand the feeling. I know exactly the space that you're in right now, man. I hope everything turns out okay. So yeah, good after morning before the afternoon, before the afternoon morning. Boy, that's even more confusing now. So okay, Civil's already ready to. Well, I don't see it. I don't see the name Tippett. So we're good there. Civil says, okay, hear me out. We're having trouble filling the third line spot next to Lundell. So what if we trade Lundell for a first round pick to draft a player who could fit next to Lundell? We got a guy. For the only way that we're getting a guy under the age of 27 to play next to Lundell permanently is if Bill Zito threatens Paul Maurice with being fired. You know what I mean? Because most likely, the way Maurice looks at that line is young guy with Lundell, young guy with Luosterainen. Okay, we got to have an older veteran on the. And I mean, to some extent, I understand that, but I mean, Lundell and Luosterainen have played enough. They've been through enough, right? They went to the finals, man. They could like exactly what Trey said yesterday. Whatever deficiencies Samoskevich would have at this moment, I think Lundell and Luosterainen could carry him. But good, good marrow. There's a fancy version. I like that one. How you doing, bud? Let's see. Bonehead says at this point in the season, who is the biggest threat in the East for the Panthers? There's two teams. There's two teams that I get queasy about. They're not who you would think. The Wings, and if the Devils were to make a run like we did last year and hit the playoffs hot. Yeah. Those are the two teams that for whatever reason, and maybe it's because we really haven't played them in series, you know what I mean? Like we played Boston, we played Toronto. We know what to expect from Tampa. And I'm not saying I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anybody. And I'm not saying like, teams like the Rangers that could be a tough out. The Flyers, who knows, right? They're kind of an enigma there. You don't know how they're going to perform once you get to the playoffs. But with Torts, it gives you a little bit of an idea. First round wise, the team that I would not want to face is Detroit. Just because they've got a good mix of young and fast, and I would almost be a little bit concerned that our guys might take Detroit a little bit. Like if we play Toronto, we know, right? It's going to be like this. If we play Tampa, we know, right? But if we play Boston, there's not really, if we play Detroit, that rivalry that I can't say the word, but that hasn't really been established yet. So it's possible that we might enter that playoff round if we played the Wings, maybe a hair under intensity-wise where we should be. All right, let's see. Yeah, Bonehead, I'm fine with second, man. Like I said with Trey yesterday, we look up and we're like, and we look down and it's like, So I think if we just ride it out, second place is fine. I don't want them busting their ass to try to catch Boston. We kind of had them caught, and then we lost those 4 games. And I mean, if we win another 6-7 games straight, not including the 4 we already have, but if we go on another 6 or 7 game heater and Boston plays 500, even then you're still probably talking about being maybe a point out. It's tough to make up those points. Sybil says, I actually have a small amount of faith that Samoskevich could stay in the lineup. Something about the way he's talked about Samo and the way he gave Samo a chance next to Barkey. I hope you're right, man. I hope. I mean, we know he got sent back down now because the AHL keeps playing. That's fine. But it's kind of like once you already break up with the girl and then she knocks back on the door, it's like I already set you down. So it's kind of like, is the plan to bring him back up, or is Maurice going to have to be convinced all over again? You see what I'm saying? God forbid, Samoskevich go down and have a bad game in the AHL. Maurice might be like, oh, no. Leave him downstairs. You know what I mean? Hussey, how you doing? Meadow, Samoskevich. Yeah. Bolvar says, don't tell Raven. I hope the Bruins suck so it makes them fire and Bruce Cassidy worse in Vegas Cup way back. Oh, man, they already lived that hell. They already lived that hell. Most of the teams now, right? Tampa, Florida, Boston, right? Almost everybody in the division that's going to make the playoffs already has their President's Trophy disaster experience. To be honest, I thought that was going to be Toronto this year. I did not see, and I think I said that in my preseason preview. I thought that, I didn't think Boston would be this good. Most people didn't think. And I kind of thought Toronto would do what we did the previous year, was I thought that they were going to, beat the President's Trophy and just run away with things and then lose in the playoffs again. Trey says, I'm living that hell that you wanted, Cassidy, right? Facebook user says Lomberg is a beast. You hate Bob. Yeah, Lomberg needs contract too. So we got a lot of guys to get signed. I wish that, don't get me off on that tangent. I'm hoping. Every day I wake up my email and I'm just waiting to see the article from George that Panthers signed Sam Reinhart to 8 years, $8.75 million. Right? Anything under 9, and you just build him a statue right now. Let's see. Trey says, I'm getting really annoyed with Apple autocorrecting words. I spelled correctly, changing living to loving. Don't get me started on talk to text. I'll tell the story here, but I have to say it. Well, there's nobody here that would care. So here is a highly inappropriate talk to text story. You ready? So this is hockey. It is actually hockey related. This was back in maybe 2013, 2012, 2013. Brother Gene and I are texting back and forth. And a word that we would use for the goalies, we got from the old Neil Rogers show. We would say the goalies are apoplectic. The goalie is apoplectic tonight, right? So I talked to Texton. I forget who it must have been, whoever it was. Well, let's just pretend it was Luongo. I don't think it was. But I said, Luongo is apoplectic tonight. And Talk to Text said, Luongo is apple black dick. I'll see myself out. I killed the chat. That's it. They're dead. Cousins and Ekblad got it. Oh, man. Well, Cousins will probably be one that goes, because Cousins is already at 1.1, right? He's already making like 1.1 or 1.2 million or something like that. So you figure Gadjevich is probably the Cousins replacement. You know what I mean? Because you got to sign Lomberg too. Lomberg's making 800 or 900, so you want to give him a little bit of a bump there. Colin says there was a poll for most underrated player in the NHL, and Barkov was voted at number 1, or Reinhart was at number 2. Was it Was it like Panthers Twitter, or was it like actual NHL people? I'm surprised about that. I see, and I know Reinhardt's not going to win the MVP, but it does kind of suck that the discussions don't even involve him. It's like he doesn't even exist. He could legitimately end up leading the league in goals this year, and nobody would even whisper his name in the MVP. Yeah, Forsling is pretty underrated as well. Oh, Bovar says text to speech with your mom's Mississippi accent is truly the funniest thing ever. Yeah, I had to try talk to text with the Sam Bennett accent. Let's see. Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna send a message to Karen. Let's see. I'm just trying to do talk text right now with the Sam Bennett accent. The Sam Bennett puppet. I'm just trying to see what the talk text say if I try to do the accent to the talk text. Says, I understand you talk text now with the same minute accent. The same bandit puppet. I'm just trying to see what the talk text say if I try to do the accident to talk to text. Not too bad. Sybil says, how to trigger Jaws. Trade Lundell and draft picks to Ottawa for some rentals. Also sign Stahl to a 4x5 contract next year. So we have to give Sam Iskevich away so someone will take Stahl's contract. Yeah, Vincent might win the Rocket. Or Vincent says Reinhart might win the Rocket. That's true. Definitely. Yeah. And with Forsling being underrated, that could work to our advantage, right? Because there's another one that needs a contract. But it is good news that the cap is going up to $4 million, and not because at the beginning of the year when I did that video, they thought maybe it would go up 2. So I think that's what I based my numbers on, was 2. But of course, I think I only had Reinhart at like 7 million, and then like Forsling and Montour at 4.25. So, I mean, if you don't sign Montour, there's money there. You know what I mean? So the only question really in our minds, in the fans' minds, is do you move Montour? This is a good question for all of you. If Bill Zito has looked at the numbers and knows that he's going to let Montour go, do you trade Montour at the deadline to get assets in return, or do you ride him out for the cup run and then just know that you're losing him for nothing? Genuine question. Trade Lundell to Ottawa for Claude Giroux. Jesus Christ. Oh. No. Well, I mean, if they want to throw in Brady Tkachuk, if they want to throw in Brady, I mean, we'll have that discussion. We'll have that discussion, right? Yeah, OEL has been underrated. OEL has a decent contract. I think he's 2.2 million or something. Let me see what his contract was. Oliver Ekman-Larsson contract. 2.25, right? And it's just a 1-year deal. So while we're sitting here talking about what are we going to pay Montour or Forsling, what is Larsson going to want now that all the other teams realize he's good again, right? We're going to have to pay him too. So I don't see how you sign everybody. Trey says losing something for nothing is not a concern when you're contending. You'd rather have them for the run. Also, you'd rather not mess up the locker room. Yep. And Robert says, I think Montour is going to pick it up by the end of the season. He needs a little time coming off the injury. Yeah, I agree, Robert. I mean, he don't look all that different. He just looks, he just really genuinely looks like he's just trying to do too much. Like every game, he just seems to get more and more frustrated. And he's playing with a new partner, so there's that angle to it. Um, I think he's had a different partner like every year too, right? Most likely, if we look back, when was the last time Montour had the same partner 2 years in a row? Because it wouldn't have been from last year, right? Because he's with Mikkola. So we know he didn't play with Mikkola last year. Um, yeah, that also could be part of it too. And Trey's like, he's been fine as the power play quarterback. And that's the one thing, yeah, where I kind of agree with Trey there, where you just write it out. You just ride him out. You hate to lose somebody for nothing. Um, but if we get hardware, right? If we get one of these, although this is kind of a glass, but you get my point. If we get one of these, then we'll be good to go. Yeah, if only Monty got that goal on Pittsburgh. I think it was the second game. So I think that's New York. It was the second game. But it was they showed the replay on our end. The defenseman actually got a stick on the puck and deflected it. He didn't miss. We thought he missed because that's kind of what he does is he misses high and away. And so it looked like he had missed it again. But actually the defenseman got his stick on that puck. So that's okay. That's okay. But okay, Vincent says the issue with Montour is that he's RD. That's a deficit commodity and expensive at that. I'm fine with trading him, but what you want to get back is important. And that's the thing, right? Is like you still might end up just trading him, even if you did it, trading him for a rental, right? Because there's no, I mean, well, I take that back. It depends on how much. I mean, if you're getting a guy that's going to play on that right wing, right? You're moving Montour's salary. You're not going to be re-signing him, so maybe you could re-sign the guy. But at the other point to that is like Trey and I said yesterday. At what point do you just give Samoskevich that role next to Lundell and Luster-Ryan and say, here you go? I mean, most people would say next year. So with that in mind, if you traded Montour now for a right winger for that line, you would still be getting a rental because you kind of you don't want to block Samoskevich. We already got Spencer Knight sitting there blocked. Yeah, and Ned poked the puck away in Pittsburgh. Yeah, Montour's had his opportunities. It'll come. It'll be like Kachuk, right? Just all of a sudden the pucks will start going in the back of the net, and then we'll be good to go. But he has been doing a good job at the blue line on the power play. There's no doubt about that. Vince says, we're done with the rentals. You can get a solid winger for less. Right, but I mean, the point there, Vincent, is that there's really only one spot even open. You see what I mean? Like there's nothing open in the top six. There's only the one spot open. So if you were trading for a guy, if he wasn't the rental, you'd be blocking Samoskevich because where else is he going to play? You see what I mean? That's kind of what I'm saying. So, it's good problems to have. It's good problems to have, right? Now, what interests me is they offered Kane a contract, as far as I've heard, and they offered Corey Perry a contract, as far as we heard, which means they've been trying to fill that spot with basically a guy that would just be for the rest of this year, right? So, to me, that kind of says they probably feel like Samoskevich is still one full off season away from being ready to play in the playoffs. And I don't necessarily like that. I don't necessarily disagree with it either. He probably could use one more summer in the gym. You know what I mean? Because playoffs gets extra physical. But anybody we bring in now would just be temporary. I was kind of surprised about the Corey Perry thing that they offered him a contract. I didn't. But I know Trey is going to be Trey is going to be triggered about Corey Perry for quite some time. We'll just put it we'll just put it that way. It's okay, Trey. It's all right. We're not Edmonton is not going to come. We won't lose the cup because of Corey Perry. That I don't think. I don't know who else is out there that fits that role, but even those guys. Let's see. Trey says throw his ass in the deep end. The postseason run will tell him exactly what he needs to do in the offseason. Well, okay, maybe, right? But I mean, I don't disagree. Okay, let's rewind. You're not wrong. But the question would be, would he be what costs us? Would he cost us in the playoffs, right? Vincent says, actually, my point is by trading Montour, Oh, okay. Actually, my point is by trading Montour, we create a hole on our right D. The only guy you can trade him for is Rennick. Vancouver is apples for apples deal, but that's unlikely. I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. That I get what you're saying now. Right. So yeah, then there's no reason. Then it's probably not a good idea. So the way that you put it. Yeah. All right. I agree with Vincent. Like Mid Cousins did. Well, okay. And that's the balance, right? Trey, because Mid Cousins cost us offensively because he couldn't finish his chances. Would Sam Miskevich cost us defensively because he would get, pushed around a bit, right? There's no bully on that line. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's pushing for Hagee around because Bennett and Kachuk are right there with them, right? There's nobody really there that's protecting Barkov either, but he's so big and strong, he don't really need it. So, I don't know, man. Who knows what Maurice is going to do? Yeah, I knew Trey is now Trid. We'll just call him Trinity. We'll just go with we'll just call Trey Trinity now. And yeah. Trey says I trust Lundell. No, and that's true. I do trust Lundell's defense. Here's another part though, right? What I don't want to have happen is you throw Sam Miskevich out there and then he can't quite make it happen in the playoffs, and then Maurice gets in his head that he's not going to be the guy the following year. You know what I mean? Trey. Oh, Jesus. Vincent says, prove me wrong. Sam Miskevich, in terms of talent, is the best player to hold on to the puck after Barkov. I mean, Lundell is kind of hard to get off the puck, too. When Lundell flips that switch, right? He has a tendency to be a little bit too passive sometimes. But hey, look, Sam Miskevich drew that penalty that got us the second goal the other game. You know what I mean? Bolvar says, so you're asking me to compare Trey to that Matrix trick. I don't think I can do that. Well, if we just got to slim Trey down, right? You got to shave the beard. We'll get you a wig. We'll get you the suit. We need to see Trey in that suit. That would blow up the channel one way or another. That's a guarantee. Oh, here he comes. I'm not reading that. Not reading that. Nope, Paul. Not gonna. Not reading that. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Did he score again? Damn it. I'm not reading that either, Vincent. You cheap bastards. I'm not reading that. Trey says, I always figured my girl name would be Tracy, but Trinity actually makes more sense with the whole three thing. Yeah. We'll call you TT for short. Trinity Trey. Trinity. That's your rapper name. That could be your rapper name. Trinity Trey. Right? Trey Try. I like that one too. Yeah. Sean says this team sucks for Trey. Oh, don't start with me, Civil. That's tempting. That's actually tempting, Civil. At that, don't get me started. Damn it, don't get me started. My brain's not going to let that go now. My brain is not going to let that go now. Trade Lundell for Tippett. Damn it, Civil. Damn it. Because now I got to think of how. Now I'm thinking you got Lusterinen with Tippett, and now who's on the wing? God damn it! Don't. Jeez. Flying Fluffy Gentlemen's Club, right? Damien wants to know what I think about we trade for Maroon or someone like that. I think we're full up on fourth liners. I feel pretty good about our fourth liners. Look, nothing would shock me with Zito, right? He is continually, there's nobody comfortable really, right? He is always going to look at the roster and think, where can we upgrade, even if it's temporarily? I mean, Cousins from Maroon. Maroon's a big guy. I wouldn't mind having a big guy like that in the fourth line. But yeah, Trey. E2 can play center, right? So that's what I'm saying. Lusterinen with Tippett, but then that still leaves us short a winger, right? Lusterinen, Tippett, Samus. All right, here you go. See what you started, Civil? Damn it. All right. Would you rather Lundell, Lusterinen, Samoskevich, or Lusterinen with Tippett and Samoskevich? Then there goes Frank. Trade Lundell for Krause. That one is a no. That one is a no. Lundell does too much, though. He does too much. I got to take that back. I mean, he does too much. He does. He's too good on the penalty kill. He's too good on defense. I love Tippett, but that wouldn't. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I like Lusterinen, but could Lusterinen do the same thing that Lundell could do? Probably not. Probably not the same. Let's say. Bovar says traded will make Jaws reasonably happy. Spencer Knight for Marc-Andre Fleury and a first. Damn it. No. I don't want another goalie though. Because I like Stolars. If we're gonna move on from Knight, you gotta sign Stolars, right? Let's see. Vincent says, let me fix that. Lundell is great, but he's off limits. Out of the top 9 is E2 or Rodriguez, especially if Mackey will take Erod's spot. Yeah, but if you give Mackey Erod's spot, you still got another hole. You still got a hole, right? We have 8 legitimate top 9 guys, right? If Mackey makes 9. If you say Mackey makes 9, then if you move Rodriguez and put Mackey in, you're still back to 8, right? Hey, Jackson, how you doing? Sybil says Lusterinen, Tippett, Lockwood. Well, Lusterinen would be the center there, but I see what you're saying. See if Lockwood has third line minutes. He's only 25. I mean, he's got some moves. He definitely has some moves. I'm definitely interested to see more from Lockwood. I hope, and don't shoot the messenger here, but there's only I hope the plan is not Lomberg is going to get paid and Cousins is going to get paid and their replacements are Gadjevich and Lockwood. I hope that's not the case. I hope we don't Nola Chari, Ryan Lomberg. Vincent, yeah, but that still leaves us a hole. Mackey for Erod, but that still leaves us one short. That's the thing, Vincent. Unless you're going to say Swordif is ready too. You know what I mean? Let's see. Bolvar says, so declares the odd man out. Former Panthers still don't understand why my brother calls him. Oh, Jesus. Trey says, can we just get Yager to come back and play on the third line? Can you imagine Yager on a Paul Maurice team? I mean, that would be funny. That would not be funny, but it would be funny. Can you imagine him trying to forecheck, back check, forecheck? That would be that. Even when he was with us before, that he couldn't have done that. Colin says, just sit Reinhardt and Zito down in a room and lock the door till they come out with an agreement. I don't see what's taking so long. You started 8 million. Kachuk's at 9.5. So there's your natural boundary. How hard can it be to negotiate 8 years times somewhere in between 8 million and 9.5? I don't understand what's taking so long. It just meet somewhere in the middle, right? It shouldn't be taken unless, of course, Reinhardt's agent is probably like, I'll sign a contract after he hasn't scored a point in a game, right? And he's just waiting for Reinhardt to have a game without a point before he signs the contract. It's been like a month? It's like 13, 14 games straight, right? I mean, just saying. They're probably waiting to see, he's got 40 now. He's got 50 now. He's got 60 now, right? Let's see. Yeah, no, Sean, what we need is no more injuries, and the Western Conference is trying to put an actual cup contender on the ice. Yeah, no, we got to stay healthy. Damian Verhaeghe wants $8 million at best. Yeah, that's a whole nother situation. But that's next year. And at that point, next year's conversation is Verhaeghe, Bennett, and Ekblad. But if you move on from Ekblad, you got plenty of money for Verhaeghe and Bennett, and there's nothing to worry about. You either have to move on from Ekblad or tell them if you want to stay in Florida, you have to take a pay cut. You're on the other side of the contract now. That's the only way, because you can't lose. All right, Vincent has it here. Barkov with Mackey and Reinhardt, Bennett for Verhaeghe, Kachuk, Lusterine and Lundell, Marchenko. Well, Marchenko's not on the team. No, you got 9 there, but how do we get Marchenko on the team? Colin wants to know, when is the Pro Bowl stream with Kyle? Hey, Rosado. Jason says you can't give Verhaeghe more than 7. We can't overpay guys anymore. And Rodriguez is gone. Right, but what's Marchenko's salary? Oh, is it salary? Are you talking next year? Are you talking this year? You think you think Maurice is going to put Mackey on the top line with Barkov in this year in the playoffs? Wouldn't that be some shit? Yay, Frank. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. He says, per sources and rumors, I can't read today. Hold on a second. I got to blow this up. I can't read. He says, per sources and rumors, Nick Sealer, Tanev, Monahan. That's it. We don't have cap. And some said Patrick Laine could use a fresh start with us or Carolina because of the connection with Barkov and Aho. Yeah, I saw. I didn't read the whole thing, but I guess I saw Laine had a statement about he was taking some time away from the game. I saw it like while Kyle and I saw it on Twitter while we were in the middle of a football stream. So I didn't get to go back. Rosado, we're trying to find a way to get Erod traded, Aki Samoskevich on the top line. That's kind of where we're at right now. I only got triggered by Tippett a little bit. Somebody offered Lundell for Tippett straight up, and I had to think about it for a second. Let me see. I missed something here. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about, Jason, about Verhaeghe. I mean, if the dude's a straight up 40 goal scorer every year, 7's going to be a little bit low, right? I mean, the difference between If he wants 8, I'm giving him 8. If he'll take 8, I'm giving it to him. Because without Verhage, I mean, this team is built on clutch scoring. You know what I mean? Without Verhage, this team has a serious hole in it. We've got all the defensive guys and the guys that do everything else, but every team needs that guy when they get into the slot, and every team needs that guy. That's not a guy I think we could move on from, in my opinion. Lane was on a hot burner for 2 years, then just completely died and was never replaced. You can always trade Lundell for Riley Smith. No, I'm good. I'm good. Not even for Riley Smith and Nola Chari. Not even for 2 guys, right? But what do we got? It's tomorrow's February. I think it's March. So we got 6 weeks. He's got to sign Reinhardt so we know what we're doing. Jeez. How hard can it be? Like you said, get these 2 guys in a room, lock them in there. It shouldn't be. I mean, do you think Reinhardt is wanting more money than Tkachuk? Right? I mean, Reinhardt does a lot. Jeez. But you can't. I mean, Tkachuk and Reinhardt now on that power play, they got a thing going on. You know what I mean? You can't move on from Reinhardt the same way you can't move on from Bennett, because now you've got all that chemistry there. So I that needs to get done so we know what the hell we're dealing with. And defensively, like at least we're not in the position we were in the President's Trophy season, right? I mean, geez. We were so desperate that year. We did what we did for Claude Giroux. And then we gave up for Sherratt and Hague. Remember Hague, however you pronounce his name? Vincent says, by the way, deadline cap space. What does it mean? Do we have more money? I believe the way it works is, there's no cap in the playoffs. There's no salary cap in the playoffs, which is why guys do the LTIR thing. But in terms of the trade deadline, you still have to be compliant. It just gets complicated when you're making deals because, like, teams take the percentages and they end up prorated and everything like that. Oh yeah. Bolvar says, what fool is going to get Hughes for dirt cheap? That Calgary trade killed his career. Do you think they're going to do that? That's a possibility, Rosado. That's actually a genuine possibility. Although I don't know we give up much, because when Kane was negotiating with Detroit, that was part of the deal, was that if they fell out of playoff contention, that they would agree to trade him to a contender. So that's actually a realistic, reasonable possibility. Hey, JC. What would Kane do if he came to Florida? I mean, the only spot is next to Lundell and Luosterainen. It's weird. Detroit was in a good playoff position. Kane came in, started scoring goals, and all Detroit did was lose after that. So that kind of smells a little bit. You know what I mean? What was that all about? Why did they suddenly drop out of the playoff race as soon as he showed up, but he was getting points? You know, was it a bit of, did some of the other guys take their feet off the gas because they thought, oh, good, we got Kane now? All right, Bolvar says, I've got this script, guys. It says, wait a minute, the Dolphins fire McDaniel at the end of the season. How did we get to football? How did we get to football? It says, what? I've got the script, guys. It says, wait a minute, the Dolphins fire McDaniel at the end of the season because they missed the playoffs and Tua got injured again. Damn script. tour for Patrick. You guys have gone off the rails. All right. So yeah. What do we got? We got. Let me look at this now. Let me look at the NHL. I've been meaning to put out a community post, but I haven't because I just been doing so many other things. So there are, let's see. So you've got Saturday, you've got the games at 3, 4, and 5, right? Okay. Wow. And then boom, hockey just starts right back up on Monday. That's right. That's Saturday. So Saturday, we're obviously, Kyle and I will be streaming that entire thing. And then whenever the All-Star, the skills competition, boy, I hope it's better than last year. I hope it's better than last year's. Last year's was only good because we had Kachuk there. Oh, Colin says the Super Bowl colors next year, the colors for the Dolphins Super Bowl. Here we come. Julian says they're saying Florida for Hubie. Flames just eat his contract, but we would still need to find $4 or $5 million on the books. We got other. There's no who's they. Julian, I believe you've heard, but who is they saying Florida for? If that happened, I mean, that would be the craziest damn thing I would ever see. Jason says Kane cannot back check. Hip surgery makes it difficult for him to pivot and cover. So no Kane, please. Why didn't we pick up Parise? Colorado got a 39-year-old 20-goal scorer for nothing, basically. I didn't see that. Hey, MJ, how you doing? You know, it's so weird. Half of me would think that Zito's not desperate, but they did offer Kane and Corey Perry contracts, so it's interesting. No, we were talking. We were just talking Panther shit, and then it took a turn, but that's okay. Vincent says, let's think about Ekblad's summer destinations, Devils. It's very, very interesting because his modified no move clause comes in. So there's a number of teams that we could trade him to. Be like, yo, sorry, Ek, it's not on your list. We could send you there. So would that doesn't guarantee that he wouldn't go to one of the teams. You know what I mean? It gets funky. I can't remember if or the last time a player that had a modified no move clause actually got moved to a team. I'm sure it's happened. Obviously, I don't know the details of every intricate player, but when was the last time that a top player in quotes, because in terms of name and all that recognition around the league, they're still going to consider Ekblad a top player. When was the last time a guy with a modified no move clause actually got moved where the team was like, tough shit? You guys tell me. I don't remember the last time that happened. I don't know that Zito would do that. I mean, Ekblad has been so vocal about every interview. It's like, Ekblad, looks like you got a new haircut. It's like, I love Florida. Ekblad, what's your new hobby? I love Florida. I want to stay forever. Please, I love it here. Ekblad, what'd you get for Christmas? I love it here in Florida. I love playing here in Florida. It's great. I don't ever want to leave. Like, that's all he ever says. So I don't know, man. That's gonna and his they've got his faces on the glass in front of the arena. Now that shit's expensive to replace, right? Hornquist was moved with a full no. I don't know, Vincent. That's very possible. That's very possible. But that's a little bit different. Like if you have a full no move, you're waiving it, right? Because you like come to the team and say, I want to go here. I want to go to contender, right? But what I'm talking about is like Ekblad, like wants to stay, has a modified no move clause, but he wants to stay. But the team just says, well, suck it. We can trade you to this team whether you like it or not because we're moving on. That's kind of the dynamic I'm talking about. Like Hornquist, I believe, wanted a fresh start. I believe that was the case. But I don't remember the last time I heard of a player getting moved in a manner of which where basically it was just like, well, because Huberto's the only one that didn't get a no move clause with all the contracts that Talon was just giving out like candy. Huberto's the one that didn't get a no move clause, and you see what Bill did to him. Dana says, I heard Wheeler and Scheifele had Line A crying when they were running the toxic locker. Really? Man, you guys, see, that's why I don't go on social media. You guys fill me in. Craig says, Ekblad would retire before moving, plus his wife is a doctor in a great location for doctors. Well, then there you go. Well, then he's going to have to take less money. He's going to have to take 5, right? Because we got Bennett and Verhage to sign. You know, that's easy. Just lock him into a room. Just lock Ekblad in a room. And in the room with him, just 2 different TVs. And show him on this one TV footage of Huberdeau playing in Florida and Uyghur with his weather reports. And then on the other TV, showed him Huberdeau and Uyghur in Calgary shoveling snow and shit like that. And then just say, so how much is it that how much was that? Like Craig is saying, I bet you take $4 million, wouldn't you, Aaron? Just to stick around in the warm sunshine. Julian says, Flames media, like someone said earlier in the chat, who is going to get Hubie on the cheap? He's been such a bad player. No one would risk his contract. Maybe Florida. Huberdeau is a negative contract now, right? Then you're talking about Ekblad at 7.5 next year. That's not acceptable. I mean, it's unfortunately, Vincent, you're not wrong. Unfortunately, the NHL is not like the NFL. In the NFL, the team and the player can be like, you want to redo this deal because this deal sucks. Yeah, I want to stay. And they rip up the deal and they can prorate the cap hit and make a lot of it signing bonus and save a lot of cap space over a couple of years. NHL, you sign it. That's it, bro. You either play in that contract or you getting bought out, right? So Bolvar says Atlanta has a lot of places for doctor. Oh, wait, oops, this isn't 2011. Honestly, I wouldn't mind Ekblad staying at like $4 or $5 million as a second pair guy. You know what I mean? Just for, if we're going to continue to be in Cup Now mode, man, you know, the locker room, we as fans can joke and give him shit for mistakes and everything like that. But in terms of that locker room, I'm not sure moving on from Ekblad is the best move. Oh, Dana says, how does that work now since the case was closed and the girl took a 7? Are you talking about the 5 Hockey Canada, that thing? Is that something that that just happened? I'm confused, Dana. I need more context. Because as I saw this morning, they were being charged and that she had refused money. And that was what was giving her credibility, was that they had offered her a settlement and she turned it down. And at least that's what I thought I saw / heard. I haven't really been intricately knowledgeable about the. Bowler says, right, they've all been charged but not yet convicted. So they won't be, it won't be close to 2026 and they can't play until the case is closed. Man, what if they didn't do it? Well, I don't know. What I know when I talk about this in the podcast, all I know is that there's people saying there's video, and then people under that say in the video it was consensual, and the people under that say, yeah, but she was drunk, And at that point, I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not going to watch a video and try to guess who was drunk and who was sober. And I'm, it's just like, I feel bad all the way around, no matter which way, no matter what happened. It's a shitty situation, but none of us can really know what, you know what I mean? None of us can really know what happened. Don't put, and I'm meaning this for the guys. I'm saying this as a guy. Don't put yourself in bad situations, man. You know what I mean? Don't put yourself in a situation where it could even look like that, because it's usually not going to go well. Right, Julian. They won't move on from Ekblad. He's the face of the franchise from the get-go. He's more vocal than Barkov. Right, right. Bolivar says it was under an investigation for over 4 years now. I say they have the right, guys. Yeah, like I said, I don't know enough to form an opinion. The only opinion I have on it is, and I talked about this in the podcast, but I'll say it here too. And I'm not saying this is that. I'm not saying what's happening with these people is that. But for me, in terms of, I'm always nervous about false accusations because 4 years I was a massage therapist, mainly for women only, and mainly just doing house calls. And so for 4 years, it was my job to be alone in a woman's house while she's naked on the table. So at any given point in time, if I had pissed any of them off or pissed off their husbands or whatever, they could have easily just been like, he touched me inappropriately, and I'm toast, whether I did it or not. Because like, how do you prove you didn't do something, right? You can't prove a negative. Like I said, I'm not saying that's what happened here, but whenever I see these cases, I'm always like, I got one ear open for, could this really happen? Because it's just like, at any given point in time, what am I going to do? Like, it's like, was she naked? Yeah. Was she on the table? Yeah. Did you have her hands on her legs? Yeah. It's like, well, if she wanted, whatever she's going to say, she's going to get, it's going to get believed. I'm dead in the water there. So no. Well, actually, Vincent, there is a story in the book. Yes, there actually is. There is a French model story in the book. Yes, exactly. Yes, Vincent. There actually is one story in the book. It's entertaining, to say the least. It's a French model. Somehow it's a story that involves a naked French model in Disney. And I shit you not. That's the truth. MJ can vouch for that. Where's the Barkov statue at? Where is it? Well, we got Billy here. Because this is solid ceramic. This is old school. This is old school. This is not the new ones that are plastic and whatnot. And Dana's in the book as well. Yes. There's a picture of Dana in the book, if you guys were ever wondering. I took it straight from Dana's OnlyFans. She's jacked and ripped. I'm kidding. I don't know if Dana's gonna like that or not. I don't care if you think it's Sam Bennett. I'm not trying to do Sam Bennett anyway. It's just Bennett. You know what Bennett is. Bennett. It's not terrible. I like it. You don't like the publish. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to like the publish. I ain't for nobody like it. That's the voice that came out. I went outside. I asked the spirits. I say, what Sam Bennett going to sound like? I had the puppet in my hand. That's the voice that came out. It's easy to do. It keeps coming out. Just won't shut the hell up. So I just figured that's the Sam Bennett voice. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Let's put it this way. If I worried about making everybody happy, nobody would be happy. There would be no channel. Dana says, I feel like there's a different chat going on. Well, I don't know if you came in late because I saw when your first comment was, but yeah, there's like 6 topics going on at once. We're getting ready to wrap it up anyway. I'm out of voice. I got to go do my eBay pack and ship. Oh boy, I love you, Dana. You know, I'm just giving you shit, but I like that. That's actually I like that one better. I have no idea. True, I have no idea. It wasn't. How can I put this? Hey, Hamburger Hut. Thank you, John. Thank you, thank you, Hamburger Hut. Thank you, John. It was not a conscious idea of what do I think Sam Bennett would sound like. You know what I mean? It wasn't that. It was just I waited for a voice to come out, and that's the voice that came out. And Dana doesn't like it, and that's okay. That Dana doesn't have to like it. I like it. My channel, my puppet, I like it. Right? Fluffy's dope. What are you groaning about? You got plenty of CBD. Huh? You probably got too much CBD. After next season, like I said, Sunswine, this year's conversation is Reinhardt, Forsling, Montour. Next year's conversation is Bennett, Verhaeghe, and Ekblad. So, what are we going to do about Stolar's contract? That's true. He's only got the 1 year. I mean, geez, talk about a question. Who knows, right? I mean, are we gonna Alex Lyon this guy again, where we show him off to the universe, and then he says, "Okay, I think I'm gonna go somewhere else because I'm gonna get playing time." So there's that possibility. I would like to see us have him for a few years, and the whole Spencer Knight thing. But who knows? Hey, Nick, thank you, True. Thank you, True. Thank you, Nick. He says, can't wait for the All-Star break to be over. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. It gives me a couple of nights off, right? Sunshine says Knight has to come back. No excuses. Remember, if Knight comes back, that's another $1,150,000 added to the cap. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, Lyon is doing good in Detroit. The Spencer Knight thing, he needs to play, right? He needs to continue to play games. So, I mean, if Zito hadn't given him that contract, I understand why he gave him that contract. Sunshine, no, his cap hit, because he's in the AHL, his cap hit is reduced by 1.15 million. I believe that's the number. So he's still counting like 3.4, 3.5 against the cap, even though he's in the AHL. We get some relief, but not full relief. So if we bring him back, it's an extra million or so that gets added to the cap. So no, it's not the full. We're getting some relief. So, oh geez, Boulevard. Okay, but is that relief only since he's full time in the AHL? I believe it's because that's not his entry level contract. I don't know the perfect intricacies of it, but it's been my understanding that because it's not like entry level contract is going to be the same no matter, you know what I mean, cap wise. But that's basically, he's got a veteran deal now, so the rules are a little bit different. True. Yeah, we're going to stream the skills competition. We're going to do the skills competition, and then we're going to do the games on Saturday. JC, my Sam Bennett voice sounds like that Asian guy on TikTok selling light up sign. I have no idea. But hell, hey, that's the voice. It's the same with all of the puppets. People love them or people hate them. I used to take it personal, and I just can't, because those are the voices that come out. Those are the puppets. Those are the voices that come out. I'm not going to adjust the voices. I can't adjust the voices. That's whatever, that's what's coming out. You know what I mean? So some people like it, some people don't like it. Some people tell me they don't like it. Some people, they tell me like it. There's none of the voices that I do that I don't like. I'm not. I like to improve the Bubba voice. Francisco don't get that much airtime. Andy, I've almost lost his lisp. The Andy, I've almost lost his lisp a little bit there. I haven't been doing Andy a whole lot, so the lisp is not. I did it okay here, but then when I put the hand on the puppy, it's been giving me a hard time, so I haven't been doing Andy as much. But now doing it like this, it's okay. And then of course Saucy Sloan. But the Bennett one, it's not meant to be. This is what I think Sam Bennett sounds like. It just a fan, supporter, friend sent me the puppet. I got the puppet. I went outside and I was like, okay, send me a voice. And that's the voice that came out. So Josh wants to know if the Panthers win the cup. Am I coming down to Sawgrass to watch parade? Unfortunately, no. Fluffy cannot even get up the front stoop without me helping him up. So unfortunately, I'm here until they're no longer here. I can't leave him with anybody else because a lot of times he needs help getting up just from a sitting, like laying down now. He's laying down for an hour. I'll have to get up and help him get up. Once he gets moving around and everything else, he's fine. But I can't leave him in anybody's care but my own. At this point, it's not good for the people. It's not safe for him. True. Oh, I appreciate that on the Taylor Swift song. Yeah, it was a little high for me, but I got raspy enough to pull it off as best I could. It wasn't, it didn't matter how it sounded. I needed to get those lyrics out. Right. Hey, Bubba. Can I do a Roger Rabbit voice? No, probably not. I'd have to listen to it and see if I could do it or not. I'm not really good with imitating voices. It's just if I find a position in my mouth that works, and whatever comes out is what comes out. Oh, geez. JC says it's bad. I need hockey. I've been regulated to watching scrappy Netflix shows with the wife. Watch the timeout. I have an idea. I'm going to make a community post about it later. I want to make sure I can pull it off before I bring up the idea. I want to make sure I can technically do it before I have the idea. But there might be a fun interactive stream tomorrow night. But I don't know if technically what I want to do can be done. So just watch for community posts later. I'll have the schedule out, and there could be something fun tomorrow. Joel's going to add a new character with a Jamaican accent. He's going to watch the Bob Marley movie in preparation. And maybe I could probably pull that off. If I think about it, I can't do it. If I think about it, it doesn't happen. I just have to do it. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's like an artist. They can't think about what they're drawing or painting or whatever. It just has to come out. Hey, Bubba, how you doing? Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. Watch old hockey. Yeah. Watch old hockey videos. All right, guys. Voice is going. I got to roll. I got to get my eBay packing shipped done, get Fluffy his lunch and all of that stuff. Yeah, I will. I promise. I will have a community post out later on this afternoon with the schedule, because I definitely have an idea. Sorry, Bubba. We're over an hour, Bubba. The voice. I've been singing all morning. For those of you who aren't fans of the football channel, go over to the football channel. I just put out a short about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. We'll put it that way. Friday, yeah, I'm going to have that in a community post, True. I got to look at the schedule, talk to Kyle, figure out my day. I'll have that out on a post later on. So, wow, my voice is just like going on me. Jeez. All right, everybody. I'm just going to have to talk like this because that's all the voice I got left. All right, I'm just going to have to say goodbye this way because I know Dana don't like the accent. So I just say, bye, Dana. I love you, Dana. Dana, I know that you hate the accent, but I love you. Kitsy Dana. I love you. Bye. I'm gonna get a text. I'm gonna get a text about that one.